you look inside that so far a very sparse crowd, the Cowboys and the Eagles, one of the oldest rivalries in the NFC East. Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and when you look at the Cowboys' record of 3-0 and you think about the fact that Chan Gailey as a head coach has never lost to a team in this division, the NFC East, it'll be a pretty easy afternoon for Dallas, but that's not always the case when they come here.
Not when they play the Eagles, especially here. And one thing that they always do is they always go after Troy Aikman. I mean, they always blitz him, they knock him down, and he is the target for this Eagle team, and he always has been. And I think as the Cowboys come into this game, I think the most important thing they have to do is protect Troy Aikman. Now, you can do that a number of ways. One, use your big offensive line, go more two tight ends, use maximum protection, get the running game going, and I think offensively they'll do those things. Now, on defense, they're going to be playing today without Darren Woodson, and to me that hurts this Cowboy defense because he's one of the best defensive players in all of football, and when you're going to throw, he's a good pass defender, he's also a good pass rusher, and when you run the ball against him, he gives you an extra linebacker in there.
Now, John, Andy Reid is in his first year as the head coach of the Eagles. His record is 0-4. And you'd be inclined, it seems to me, to sort of go into a shell a little bit if you're the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't think so. I mean, I think they have to go out and play. I think they have to go out and gamble. I mean, Doug Peterson is starting at quarterback. We may see Donovan McNabb later, but I think the biggest mistake that they can do is say we're not going to do anything on offense and just run 3 plays and punt. I mean, I think they have to get some running going. They have to play pass. Doug Peterson has to play like an NFL quarterback. And then on defense, we know what they're going to do. They're going to go after Troy Aikman. They're going to blitz. And Bobby Taylor is going to line up and play against Michael Irvin like he has the last 4 years. And Bobby Taylor has done a pretty good job against Michael Irvin.
All right, coming up, it's the Cowboys and the Eagles from Veterans Stadium. And John and I'll be back for the opening kickoff when Fox NFL Sunday continues after these local messages.
You're watching Fox.
Welcome back to the Vet. It's a rainy day here in Philadelphia. I spoke to both quarterbacks before the game, and they said if the rain stays as it is right now, shouldn't be too much of a factor. But as we speak, it seems to be picking up a little bit, both the rain and the wind. Now, Troy Aikman is a quarterback who doesn't prefer to throw the wet ball in the rain. Doug Peterson, on the other hand, says he doesn't mind a little bit of rain. Seems to wipe a little bit of the newness off the ball. Back to you, Pat and John.
All right, DJ and DJ Johnson, of course, former defensive back here in the NFL. Our sideline reporter, David Akers, set to kick off for Philadelphia. Back deep, Jason Tucker and Jeff Ogden for Dallas. That's Jeff Ogden. Ogden has some speed. Gets out to about the 27 where the Cowboys offensive unit comes on the field, led by Troy Aikman. Cowboys unbeaten. Aikman off to a fine start. 86 wins, most in the NFL. The offensive line is a good one. Tom Maslinski starts at right guard. Tony Hudson was there last week, but he's out for the year. Eric Williams is back at right tackle. Emmitt Smith, Tim Lester, the fullback. Ismail, Irvin, and LaFleur, the receivers. 3 wide receivers. Aikman. To LaFleur. Let's have a look at the Philadelphia defense. This would have to be their strong point. Mamula starts at one end, Greg Jefferson the other, Martin and Hollis, Hollis Thomas, the 2 tackles. James Darling broke his hand in practice. He's playing with a cast on, but the solid linebackers in the middle, Jeremiah Trotter, Taylor, Vincent, the corners, Hawk, and Dawkins, the 2 safety men. 2nd and 5. Lester leads Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith gets a Dallas first down. Vincent made the stop. Eric Williams.
Remember a couple weeks ago, I was just saying that Eric Williams in the Monday night game, he was introduced and he came sprinting out in the field. and he pulled a muscle. So this is Eric Williams being introduced today. That's the old slow Eric Williams.
Well, of course, Eric Williams is from Philadelphia.
And he always plays fired up. Yeah, I mean, he plays on another level. You know, whenever he gets here and plays against the Eagles, he's a tough guy who stays fired up. But sometimes he gets too fired up too soon.
Emmitt Smith. Flozell Adams out in front of him, but Emmitt did most of that on his own.
Yeah, well, you see what happened. The defensive back came up to that side. We're talking about Bobby Taylor as he came up in force. He saw big Flozell come out there. Adam Flozell weighs about 340 pounds, and Bobby Taylor just fell down right in front of him.
It's a good time to fall down.
He wasn't going to take him on. He wasn't going to do anything. He said, if you're going to try and hit me and knock me down, I'll help you out. I'll just go down.
Second down. 6 yards they need for a first. Lester moves in motion in front of Smith. Emmitt gets the carry. Just a couple.
You know, one of the things that Troy Aikman was saying last night that the Eagles do is they blitz their corners. And he said of all the blitzers, that's the toughest one to see is the one that comes from a corner. That last play, Bobby Taylor, the right corner, blitzed. Now, they ran to the other side, so it wasn't a run to his side or a pass. But he blitzed from the corner position.
Troy's blind side, back of him, where he couldn't see him.
Well, he says you never look out there and expect them.
Aikman goes from the shotgun. Chris Warren in the game. Here's the formation they were concerned about as Aikman does take a timeout. The Eagles, when they go into the shotgun, are going to blitz a lot.
And that's a concern. You know, do you spread them out and let them blitz, or do you bring them in tight?
Nothing at Veterans Stadium.
Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl.
Downtown Philadelphia shrouded in fog and mist. And earlier, pretty heavy rain. You can see the yellow line. That's how far they have to go for the first down.
See right here, when you get in this formation, you have 5 receivers spread out. You only have 5 blockers. Now they bring in Ernie Mills. That gives them a 6th blocker.
Right. Aikman gets it outside quickly to Raghib Ishmael, the Rocket. And he has been some addition to this Dallas arsenal.
You know, here's the thing that we're talking about, you see, is if you spread out like this, you can have 5 receivers out here, but then you only have a 5-man protection. Now, if you want to go to 6-man protection, you could bring a back in. In other words, you could bring the running back here and put him there. And if you wanted to do the 7th, you could bring the wide receiver in. That last time they brought a wide receiver, they brought Ernie Mills in.
First and 10 Dallas in Eagle territory. And Emmitt Smith gets the carry. Chase from behind, he got a couple, and that's all.
One of the things that the Dallas Cowboys know is that the Eagles are a big blitzing team. Right. Jim Johnson is their defensive coordinator, and he says, we have to gamble. We have to go after them. We have to blitz. But their big blitz downs are 2nd down, and then their biggest blitz down, of course, is 3rd down with their nickel defense.
Eagle defense, you can see 47 sacks. At 16, 47, excuse me, against Aikman, they've been successful. Aikman throws to the outside. The Rocket went to the inside. Pressure on Aikman.
Yeah, he knew that he had to get rid of the ball, and like you said, he throws it outside. Here's the pressure. You see, these are the blitzes we're talking about. They just overload a side. They overloaded the defensive right side, or Aikman's left side. He threw an out. Rocket Ismail ran a post. And I don't know that was miscommunication, or Troy, that clock in his head said, I see that blitz, they have a free guy, I have to get rid of the ball.
It was Mike Mamula who was free and had Aikman in his sights. Underthrown, intended for Michael Irvin.
And that blitz came from that same side. I think that's their idea, is to get the right side of the defense, get an overload on that side, which is Troy Aikman's backside, and get the pressure from that side from the blitz.
Toby going in to punt to Allen Rossum, who's got a lot of speed back deep for the Eagles.
Allen Rossum isn't a very big guy.
No, he isn't.
In practice yesterday, he looks like someone who would be playing on a high school team.
They have him listed 178. This is a high kick. And Rossum is going to get away from it, and the Cowboys are waiting to down it inside the 5-yard line. So Philadelphia will take over about their own 2.5. 0-0 in the first quarter. Back in Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pat Summerall, John Madden, 0-0. The Eagles offensive unit on the field for the first time.
This is a terrible place for a bad offensive team to start, a team that hasn't scored a touchdown since the first game of the season.
They start with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. The tight ends both move to the right side, and here comes Deuce Staley, the ball carrier. He might have gotten a yard.
You know, that's one thing we were talking to Dave Campbell last night, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys. He said that everyone starts off against them and wants to be able to run the ball, want to establish a run. Now, I know that the Eagles, they're coming out, they have to do it right here because he said we're an undersized defense. And if you look at us and say, what can we do to the Cowboy defense? It should be, run and control the ball. And that's what the Eagles say they want to try and do.
Cowboys with a 4-man front. Doug Peterson drops into the end zone and throws deep. He has Torrance Small. Incomplete. Let's look at the Eagle offense. Doug Peterson, who played at Green Bay behind Brett Favre, came here with Andy Reid from Green Bay. That's the Eagle offensive line. Jeff Dullenbach. The right guard, Torrance Small, Cecil Martin, Deuce Staley, Charles Johnson, Jed Weaver. The starters who handle the ball.
Torrance Small, I was just saying, he was so wide open he couldn't believe it.
All right. That's Deuce Staley. That's close to a safety. Not quite. One little surge got him out of the end zone. There's Andy Reid.
Well, the first thing you try and do is get the ball out to the 5-yard line. That's your first goal because then your punter has 15 yards. Now at this, by just getting it out of the end zone, the punter is usually 15 yards back. He's only going to be back 10 yards now, so this is not a normal distance.
We'll check the hang time. Deion Sanders fields the line drive punt, and Deion dodges down inside the 30s. A flag on the play. That hang time was not very good. 4.5 seconds is pretty good. That's what you hope for.
Yeah, but that was a tough one because again he's expecting a pretty big rush there. He's normally, like I said, 15 yards back, so he was 5 yards shorter than that. Penalty is against the Eagles. Now the Cowboys have declined that because they have great field position here.
Bernie Kukar is the referee. That's Andy Reid talking to his punter, Sean Landetta.
25 of the kicking team ran out of bounds on his own. That's the 5-yard penalty. However, it is declined. First down.
See, usually these guys, these outside guys here are the gunners. They usually get knocked out of bounds. Then they run up the field and come back in. Here the penalty was because he wasn't knocked out of bounds. He ran out of bounds on his own.
That was Allen Rossum.
I think when you're as big as Allen Rossum, that's the easiest route, that outside the playing field and then sneak back in whenever you can.
Best place to go. First and 10 Cowboys at the Eagle 29-yard line. Emmitt Smith gets the carry. And he gets nothing. Maybe lost a yard.
Well, I'll tell you,
Hollis Thomas.
And Jeremiah Trotter, the middle linebacker, too. Watch him. Here, I mean, they come in here, they're going to lead in this hole, and he gets right here, and he just blows them up. That's what you do as a linebacker. When that lead comes in right there, you try and blow up the lead. He ran right by the lead, but the lead didn't get anything done. and there was no hole at all there for Emmitt Smith.
2nd and 10. Aikman out to Smith, who makes a couple miss and then surges down inside the 25. Steve Martin finally made the play, but Emmitt got down to about the 22-yard line. 23 make it.
You know, that little loop pass to your running back, I've always felt is a good first down play and a good second down play. I never felt it was a good third down play because to me you always want to get up beyond the first down marker. But when you have a guy like Emmitt Smith, Bill Walsh started this years ago, just throwing that short pass, and in essence it's in lieu of a run.
3rd and 4. Pitch back to Emmitt Smith. Hit by William Thomas and stopped short of the first down. Bobby Taylor also involved.
Yeah, that was a little conservative. I mean, it wasn't like they were 3rd and long there. That call there surprises me. You're going to a pitch because this is a pretty good defense, this Eagle defense. And you start out here, you see, and they're going to pull, and then they get the pitch. But watch how they pursue this. I mean, they come right down the line. Bobby Taylor, the corner, gets up. He's the force man. He makes everything come back inside, and the defense just comes right down the line of scrimmage. Good job by Bobby Taylor on force.
With Bjornsson holding. Richie Cunningham hits for Dallas, and the Cowboys lead 3-0. We're in the first quarter at Veterans Stadium. It's 3, Philadelphia nothing. 7:07 left in the first quarter. Dallas lined up to kick off. Toby going. Never have figured out what that does to the ball.
Well, you know, they have those new K-balls that are right out of the box, and they don't let the kickers break them in like they used to. So that's the short form of a kicker breaking in the ball to get it ready to kick.
Very short form. Toby going. Allen Rossum at about the 1. Rossum airborne at about the 26, hit by George Teague. And so the Eagle offensive unit trots on the field. They'll take over with the Cowboys leading 3-0.
By GMC, do one thing, do it well. By Philips, technology that's making life better all the time. By Visa, the preferred card of the NFL. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And by the United States Marine Corps, the change is forever.
Ben Franklin checking over the playbook. The Eagles ball, 1st and 10. Cowboys leading 3-0. Doug Peterson. He knows the offense. It's the offense they ran in Green Bay when Andy Reid was there. This is Deuce Staley. And right now, for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat, this is a page out of Ben Franklin's playbook. Take a look at the pump fake by Kurt Warner, and he finds Isaac Bruce 13 yards. The old bob and weave move by Bruce. 7-0 Rams will try to snap a 17-game losing streak to the Niners. Let's go back to Philadelphia. Pat Summerall and John Madden.
All right, JB, those Rams are doing some bobbing and weaving, aren't they? Here's Peterson back to throw. Outside to Staley. Here is the Dallas defense, the front 4. Pittman, Spellman, Hennings, and Ellis. Mr. TD. Dexter Coakley, Randall Godfrey, and Darren Hambrick, the linebackers. They can all run. Deion Sanders and Kevin Smith, the corners. First time they've been back as a tandem in a long time. There's the defensive coordinator, Dave Campo.
Yeah, they finally get their corners back, as you say, as a tandem, and then they lose Darren Woodson, a strong safety. Oh, that was a touchdown.
Incomplete. Nobody's out here.
There was wide open.
I know it.
There was wide, and there was no one on the sideline at all.
Charles Johnson was the intended receiver.
I mean, this is the second time, but watch when he comes out here. You see the motion going here. You're going to see the back come out here, and there's no one out here at all on this side of the field. I mean, just watch right here. I mean, he's just wide open. And had he caught that ball, there's no one down there that whole side of the field.
There's no one out of the picture. There's just no one. Deion Sanders fields the punt, skips a couple times, and then is hit backwards to about the 30. Bangs the ball down in disgust. Barry Gardner was down to hit Deion before he could make a move. Veterans Stadium. Tonight it's pivotal game 4 of the AL Division Series when the Boston Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive and force a decisive game 5 as they battle the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on Fox. And you can bet that those Cowboy defensive coaches will go over that coverage because there have been a couple of blown coverages already.
Well, you know, so far the Eagles have had 2 guys wide open. First was Torrance Small, and he dropped it. Then it was Charles Johnson. And if Charles Johnson catches that ball, it's going to be a touchdown or close to a touchdown because there was no Cowboy on that whole side of the field.
Robert Thomas, number 44, is in at fullback for the Cowboys.
He's an interesting guy, isn't it? They moved him over from linebacker to fullback so he could make the team.
And they say he has very good hands in addition to being tough. Irvin makes the catch from Aikman. Picked up about 8. Bobby Taylor with Michael Irvin, who stays down.
Here's Michael Irvin. He's going to run the slant. You see, he's going to come about 4 yards and just come to the inside. Bobby Taylor was a little slow getting a jump on that, and it was the second guy in that got Michael Irvin.
Somebody flashed by, hit him in the back, maybe in the helmet with a knee. I think it was Houck.
Yeah, you know, we talk about hitters. The Eagles have one in this Tim Houck. He's number 45, and it looks like him. He's going to come flying by. You see, Irvin sees him, and Houck comes and just lowers it on him right there.
Looks like some helmet to helmet.
It looked like he was trying to use his helmet, but I think Michael Irvin was lucky in that he saw him because, you know, after he got by Bobby Taylor, he catches that ball. Now watch, Michael Irvin sees that coming. Tim Houck does lead with his helmet on there. He tries to go helmet to helmet, but Michael Irvin gets his head down, and it wasn't helmet to helmet.
His head got twisted underneath against the artificial turf. And it's hard here at Veterans Stadium right now. For another update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat and John, this is not a replay, but take a look at this. Kurt Warner going to Isaac Bruce, who beats Darnell Walker again, this time on the fade pattern. Second touchdown reception for Bruce. Boy, the Rams taking out their frustration on the Niners. 14-0. Back to Pat and John.
Watch Michael Irvin as he is in the grasp of Bobby Taylor, his shoulder and his head.
Yeah, it's just his right shoulder and his head right into the turf. And again, that was a result of his ducking from Tim Houck.
Yeah. And Irvin still down. Caldwell of the Eagles over on the bench.
But you see how Michael Irvin there was trying to shake his head initially. I think I think the injury was caused from the head hitting the turf. I mean, there's a lot of bad things about artificial turf, and the hardness of it is one of them. I mean, you know, you can get hit and then get hurt when you get hit, or you can also get it again when you hit the turf, because this is just carpet over cement is all this is.
And this at Veterans Stadium is very hard.
Hey, Howard, switch seats with me.
No way.
Michael Irvin still down, and they're still looking at Michael.
This is one of these things that, they take all the precautions that they can. I mean, and then every stadium has a way to get a player off the field. They're bringing a gurney out right now. They're not going to move him. They're not going to let him move. Players are all doing the one thing that they can, just pray that everything is all right, that Michael Irvin is all right here.
Did you see the pictures of the Dallas Stars Mike Modano when he was hit? It went into the board. The Eagle players are talking to their fans and asking them to be quiet.
Yeah, we just saw a picture there of Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith was down there with Michael Irvin the whole time, and when they brought this gurney in, Emmitt Smith left for the first time. This is one of those things that, that every player feels, and every coach and everyone involved feels for the player that's down.
And as you said, they take no chances when an injury looks like this. They take no chances really of any injury, but particularly when it involves the neck, the head.
And they do a great job.
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
At one time, they didn't, and then this became a very important part. And there's X-ray facilities at every stadium. There's an ambulance at every stadium. They have ways to transport the players off the field.
You could see as he went down, he was trying to get his mouthpiece out of his mouth.
Well, and it was one of those things on that slant. He knew that he had Bobby Taylor beaten. So the next guy coming in was the strong safety, Tim Houck, and he saw him coming, and Houck was zeroing in on him. So he went to avoid that block, or that tackle. In doing so, went right into the turf.
Really is not much you can do except hope and be quiet. Michael Irvin being strapped on to the gurney stretcher. Very solemn moment. We can hope.
Yeah, and the way the players are taught now when this happens is to stay away from the injured player and just let the medical people do the job that they have to do, and the job that they do so well.
Avoid as much movement as they possibly can. Right now, again, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
All right, Pat, Tony Graziani, backing up. Chandler comes in and tosses this nice TD pass to Terrence Mathis, 22 yards. That made it 7-0 Falcons. Doug Bryant has drawn the Saints within 4. It's now 7-3. And Pat and John, certainly our prayers are with Michael Irvin. Back to you guys.
JB, you join many.
Probably his closest friend on the team right there is Emmitt Smith. And remember when Emmitt Smith first came into the league, Michael Irvin and took him under his wing and taught him what professional football was all about. I remember the first meeting that we ever had with Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
He didn't come in by himself. Came in with Michael Irvin.
And Michael did all the talking. In the event that you might have just joined us, here's the play again.
It's Michael Irvin. He comes in a slant, catches the ball. Bobby Taylor goes to tackle him there. He sees Tim Hawk coming from the other side, and then he goes to avoid that. Tim Hawk had him zeroed in. And you can see right there, he looks up and he sees it, and then he has to get down, and in doing so, looks like he just drove his head and right shoulder and into the artificial turf.
Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, who's come to the sideline.
This is such a difficult thing for everyone involved, because you want to do whatever you can do, and there's nothing that you can do. I mean, the best thing you can do is stay away and let the workers do their work, and then say a prayer.
Well, that's what Jerry's doing, staying away.
Yeah. Now, Pat, it looks like they're backing the ambulance out because they didn't. They're starting to move him now.
Yeah.
And then they back the ambulance out of the under area.
You know, it didn't look like a collision that was that violent. I mean, I think we've seen a lot more vicious appearing hits than that.
Yeah, it was a pretty violent hit with the turf, is what it was. He was avoiding what would have been a violent hit with Tim Hawk, and in doing so, I think he had a pretty violent collision with the turf.
Jerry Jones and his son Stephen over by the ambulance now.
You know, and knowing Jerry Jones, I'll bet you he gets in the ambulance and goes with him.
There was a big, long article in the Philadelphia paper this morning about what a job Jerry had done to keep the three stars of the Cowboys together. From the information from Rich Dalrymple of the Cowboys, Michael Irvin's eyes are open. He is alert and moving. That, although it may not appear to be, is certainly very encouraging. There's Rich and the rest of the contingent by the back of the ambulance, but just continuing.
Back it up! Back it up! Back it up, guys!
The article this morning was talking about what a remarkable job that Jerry had done of keeping the three together. Now to watch one of the three, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin. His helmet is still on his head, but they have removed the face mask from the helmet. And we get back to action. Yep, there's the face mask.
Yeah, what they did is they unhooked it at the bottom and just released it and just brought it up a little. I mean, they don't take the helmets off because they don't want to move the head in any way.
Emmitt Smith just picked up a first down. Ernie Mills has taken Michael Irvin's place. They go with three wide receivers. Aikman fakes to Smith and throws to the tight end David LaFleur, who's near another first down. Right now for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat and John, it is now four straight games that Warner has thrown 3 touchdowns. This one, the third one today to Isaac Bruce. Warner 9 for 9, 177 yards, 3 touches, 21-3 Rams. Back to Pat and John.
Look it!
That guy is unbelievable, that Kurt Warner. There's no one that could have guessed or seen that one coming.
2nd and 1 here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Aikman gives to Smith, and he'll get the first down and more. Emmitt Smith to the Eagle 30, where he's shoved out of bounds by Brian Dawkins.
I think most of the time when they're going to make big runs like that, they're going to be started by a block in the left side by Larry Allen. Just watch Larry Allen. He's number 73. He's going to come out there right there. You see, he's the guy that just got that corner hook so that Emmitt Smith could get around it.
He just got the whole side sealed off.
Well, he does that, and to me, I always say this, he's the best offensive lineman in football, but if you want someone pulling in front of you and sealing a side off, Larry Allen's the best.
Robert Thomas is the fullback. Flag on the play as Aikman tossed it back to Smith. But a penalty marker down.
All start, 89 offense. 5-yard
Ball
penalty, still
start
first
called
down.
against LaFleur. Again, Bernie Kukar is the referee.
The last time the Cowboys were down here, I mean, they're not in the red zone yet, but you can see that Emmitt Smith has now rushed for over 2,000 yards against Philadelphia.
The most against any team. He's got Robert Thomas in front of him.
But last time they were down here, I thought they got a little conservative. I bet they don't this time.
Blitz comes to Aikman. He throws for Mills. Incomplete. And no flag. And right now, let's send you down to our sideline reporter, DJ Johnson.
Well, Pat and John, you're right. When you see a player down like that, it is disturbing, especially if you're a former player. The early report we got on Michael Irvin is they're taking him to the hospital right now. I asked Jerry Jones as he was getting in the ambulance, can you give us a sign on Michael Irvin? He simply gave a thumbs up. Hopefully that'll be enough. Back to you, Pat and John.
Hopefully you're correct.
That last play we talked about corners blitzing and bothering Troy Aikman. Bobby Taylor, the corner, did blitz on that last play.
Aikman fires complete to Ishmael. Just about a yard short of the first down, maybe two.
Troy Aikman was saying last night that he doesn't throw timing patterns to Ishmael. He throws more the timing pattern to Michael Irvin and the guys he worked with, and you can see that there, that's not a timing pattern. He lets Rocket come out of the move a little, because when he throws it on timing, as his head turns, that ball's there. With Rocket Ismail, he comes out of that, takes a couple of steps before the ball gets there.
And Gailey said that one of the things that surprised him about Rocket was his ability to run after he made the catch. Here's Emmett. First down, Cowboys inside the Eagle 20, about the 17. Bill Johnson made the stop. And
the other thing that surprised Chan Gailey, and I think it surprised me too, because I really didn't know that he's a very good blocker. And he's one of those guys that, that goes in and goes after those safeties. And Emmitt Smith this year will have some big runs as a result of a block from Rocket Ismail.
And he's not that big. Just about 180 at the most.
Well, they say, for wide receivers, 90% of blocking is wanting to.
Aikman, look right, throws left, complete to the Rocket.
You got to give that one to the offensive line.
Yep.
Troy Aikman makes a great pass. Rocket Ismail makes a great catch. But these guys up here, they block, because look at the time that they give Troy Aikman. He's going to come back here, and then, of course, Rocket Ismail has time to do this. He's really the second or third receiver. Watch Troy Aikman. He's looking, and then he's looking, and then he's going to come back the other way, all the way back. See, now that's pass protection.
I'll tell you.
You can't have that much time to do that many things without those five guys making some great blocks.
Especially with him. You just can't give him that much time. Here's Emmett. Fumble. And the Eagles come out of there with it. William Thomas caught the ball after it bounced. And the Eagles avoid disaster. Emmitt Smith saw the ball come loose, and Emmett is holding his right shoulder.
Yeah, well, he had one last week, too. But here they're going in here now. Now, you have to get both arms around that ball and start to put it away. And he started to. He was just grabbed back. And you see what happened? It was Greg Jefferson grabbed him and then got him perpendicular to the ground. Watch 79 when he grabs him right here. See, and then he gets him back, and that straightens him up. Then as he's going backwards, the ball's just stripped out of there.
Did you see the block that the fullback got, Thomas? The new fullback?
Yeah.
Peterson just throws it out of bounds.
Well, Doug Peterson had a lot of
Yes,
time
he
on that
did.
one. He's obviously, you're not going to confuse Doug Peterson with Troy Aikman, but that was the same type of a pass protection that Troy Aikman had. The thing, Andy Reid brought in Doug Peterson because he knew this offense, and he wanted him to teach it to the Eagles and also teach it to Donovan McNabb.
2nd and 10. Deuce Staley heads straight ahead. Stopped by Coakley. And Darren Hambrick.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that I think that the Eagles have to play professional offense or try and play professional offense. I don't think they're going to have a chance here if they just go in a shell. But having said that, I will say that to do that, you have to have good field position, too. And there's been a couple of times here that they've had the ball with terrible field position.
And they have 3rd and long now. That's the end of the first quarter with the score: the Cowboys 3, the Eagles nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Veterans Stadium will continue after these messages.
Stop!
Back at Veterans Stadium, Dallas 3, the Eagles nothing.
You know what? The Eagles have 8 yards of total offense in the first quarter.
They need 8 for a first down.
Would double their production so far.
Peterson. Deuce Staley made the catch, stopped immediately by Kevin Smith. Let's go down to DJ Johnson.
The latest update on Michael Irvin. He has trauma to the head and upper neck area. Now, he does have movement in his extremities, so that is a good sign. He's been taken to a spine center at a local hospital for more tests. He was accompanied in the ambulance by a spine specialist who was on the Eagles sideline. We'll keep you updated.
Sean Landeta back to punt for the Eagles. Not his best effort. The ball is hit by an Eagle, so they'll bring it back to where it was first touched, I believe.
I don't see an official back
I don't
there,
either.
though. I don't see
either.
an official spotting.
It's Dallas ball.
Remember on that last punt, you saw a hat come out, and then you see a beanbag. Now the hat is for the player being out of bounds, where he can't come in and be the first to touch the ball. Now the beanbag is for where he touched the ball. So he comes in and kicks the ball right there. So that's where the ball is spotted, and that's why the Cowboys start off here.
There's Emmitt Smith. Picks up 5, perhaps.
You know, it was interesting. They just spotted that ball where the Eagle touched it, but that should have been a penalty because he was out of bounds, and now he can come out of bounds and come back in and make a play, but he can't be the first guy to touch the ball. So what they did is they spotted it where he touched it, but there should have also been a penalty for being the first guy to touch it after being out of bounds.
They omitted the penalty. Reverse coming. Ismail. He gets there in a hurry. Out of bounds at about the Eagle 28.
Yeah, that's the thing that Rocket Ismail adds to this team is different ways to get him the ball, and they do it. I mean, he just doesn't catch balls. I mean, he runs screen passes, he runs reverses here. Again, you take Larry Allen, isn't a bad guy to lead. If you say lead on a sweep with a running back, lead on a reverse with a wide receiver, just follow big Larry Allen, old number 73, and you're going to get some yards.
The reverse got 17 yards. LaFleur moving. Emmitt Smith with the ball. Emmitt still on his feet, running inside the 10 to about the 7.
Again, now they're going to get in here behind this side here, behind Larry Allen, behind Flozell Adams. You see, and they just take the tight end. A good block by Tim Lester. He makes a hole. But those guys, LaFleur, Flozell Adams, Larry Allen, just take that side. Look, Stepnoski's trying to find a place to go. Tim Lester gets a kick out. That's a heck of a big hole.
Here's Emmett behind the line of scrimmage. Swarmed on by the Eagles, led by William Thomas.
William Thomas is one of those guys, one of the fastest linebacker in football, and if you don't get a guy on him, he has the speed to run anything down. You see, the minute he gets off that block, he is going to make the tackle. You have to get on him and stay on him because he is so quick and so fast. If you don't get him hooked, you don't have a chance to get outside of William Thomas.
Lost yardage, second down, right at the 10. Aikman drops. Emmett Smith. Touchdown, Dallas.
Again, we talk about the ways that they use Rocket, the ways they use Emmett Smith. That was one of those passes in lieu of the run. But how about the ways that they use Larry Allen? We see Larry Allen. Now, he's going to pull out on this play, and he's going to lead Emmett Smith on a pass play. You see him here? Now he comes out. Now watch him get downfield. He'll end up down in field right there, making a block so Emmett Smith can get in the end zone.
If you had Larry Allen, wouldn't you use him everywhere?
Yeah, I would. They use him on reverse, to lead the Rocket. They use him to pull to lead the backs, and then they pull him out there on passing plays to lead the guy into the end zone.
Cunningham's extra point is good, and the Cowboys lead the Eagles 10-0. 11:35 left to play in the first half. Emmett Smith just scored the touchdown. Tonight it's pivotal game 4 of the AL Division Series. The Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive and force the decisive game 5 as they battle the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific here on Fox. We'll be going kicked off to Miami. Just out to the 25.
Let's watch Larry Allen here. We're talking about the things that he does. Here on the clicker, you'll see that he starts to block, pass protect, block, block, block. You see he's square. He has his head right in there, his hands right inside. Okay, now the ball's thrown. Now he can't go downfield until Emmett Smith catches the ball. So he goes straight down the line, waits, and then he comes right here and explodes. And that is good open field blocking, and that results in touchdowns. And those are the kinds of things Larry Allen does in addition to just blocking in the line.
And a good block by Stepnoski as well, who was out there with Allen. Here's Doug Peterson. To Deuce Staley, and that's a catch.
Eagles haven't had a first down yet.
I think they might have just gotten one.
They don't have a heck of a lot going. They got a complete pass. It's still not a first down, but
still not a first.
No. But they're in position to get a first down here. Watch Deuce Staley here. You can see he caught the ball and then had both feet inbounds. That's pretty good.
Yep. Got 8 yards. They still need 7 yards.
I think even if he didn't get in there, I'd give it to him.
Yeah. Screen they're trying to set up, and that's Deuce Staley again, and Dexter Coakley comes and closes quickly.
Yeah, they can't run that stuff yet. You run a screen when the team is afraid of your passing and they're backing off. They haven't thrown the ball successfully enough to run a screen or a draw. And what they tried to do was roll to the right and throw a throwback screen to the left, but screens and draws are very difficult to run if you haven't had any success in the passing game.
You need something to set them up.
And they got to get right to that yellow line now.
They lost a yard.
Got to get beyond that yellow line.
Peterson rifles it in the direction of his tight end. Incomplete. That was Luther Broughton.
It's the 4th drop pass today of this Eagle team, and he knew where the yellow line was. He went right up, went right beyond the yellow line.
You can't see it.
Looked around. Yeah, you can see it.
No, you
can't. Then he dropped it. If you got that thing in your helmet, you can see it. It's a special device.
Sean Lantana back to punt. And it's a line drive to Deion Sanders. Deion gets around the corner and gets it back to the 40, where he's knocked out of bounds.
Sean Landeta has had some ugly punts.
He really has.
Part of that can be Deion Sanders.
The Cowboy limping off the field was Nate Helmsley. Nate Helmsley, average starting field position. All Dallas.
Yeah, and Philadelphia starting in their own 15. I mean, you say that they should open up their offense, which they should, but you have to have some field position to do that, too.
Aikman looked deep and then dropped it off to Emmitt Smith.
You know, one of the things Troy Aikman or Chan Gailey, who's calling the plays, isn't going to let Troy Aikman get hurt or get hit, because he's always giving him that short dump off. And if you notice, Troy Aikman will get back there, and if he has time, he'll go to his deep guy. He'll go to Rocket Ismail. If he doesn't have time, he'll dump it off to the back. And he always has a back out there.
Three wide receiver set up for Dallas this time.
Whoops.
Took too long.
False start.
False start.
62 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
The 2 is Tom Myslinski. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader kicking off with an NFC Central matchup as Randy Moss and the Vikings battle the Lions. Then it's an interconference matchup as Brett Favre and the Packers clash with the Broncos. Doubleheader action begins with the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, here on Fox. It'll be 2nd and 12 for Dallas.
We'll be there in Denver next week to see those Packers and Broncos.
Aikman fake to his right, drops the screen off to the left. Larry Allen again out in front of Emmett.
That's not a bad play there where he faked the screen pass. He faked the screen pass to the right to Rocket, and then he came back and threw it to the left. This is the thing that the Eagles haven't been able to do. Yes, you see they haven't sacked Troy Aikman yet. They've hurried him 3 times, and I think maybe he hurries himself. He has that clock in his head, and if the guy's getting close, he's going to throw it away. And they've only hit him 2 times. We've done Eagle games where, at this time in the game, they would have had like 10 hits on Troy Aikman.
And 3 or 4 sacks.
He was trying to get another protector in there. We showed that. He had Mills in the backfield. Ernie Mills was in the backfield. So he had some extra protection. He looked like he was trying to get another one.
Dallas timeout. They only have 1 left. Mark Stepnoski over on the sideline. Trainers are looking at him. He has taken his place, just activated this week, just brought back this week by the Cowboys.
And you see the right guard is Tom Myslinski, who's taken Everett McIver's place, so they have a different right guard.
Jason Tucker.
And that was that maximum protection. Remember we showed the 7-man protection, how you get that? You get that by putting a back and a wide receiver when you're in shotgun in the backfield along with the quarterback.
Pass interference, 31 defense, first down.
Al Harris, the guilty party.
Now here's Ernie Mills. He comes in instead of being a receiver. He's right there. Here's Chris Warren. So you got your 5 blockers up here plus here and here. So that gives you a chance at having 7 protectors. And then when you have 7 protectors, then you can throw deep patterns like this. And a lot of times when you throw deep patterns like that, interference happens.
Here's Emmitt Smith. Here's left again. And he picked up about 5. Stepnoski's still on the sideline. It looked like a problem with his back.
Yeah, they were checking right below the 5 and the 3 there in that area. And talk about things that have helped this Cowboy team. Rocket Ismail came back in the speed, getting Deion Sanders back as big, moving Larry Allen to guard has been a good move, but I think one of them that rates right up there with those moves is getting Mark Stepnoski back.
No question about it.
They played 3 or 4 years where they really needed a center, and now they have one, and it's all the difference in the world.
Nothing there this time for Emmitt Smith. Stopped by Bill Johnson.
I think that Troy Aikman was really concerned over the years. You know, he gets beat up when he comes here and plays the Eagles. And you look after that when he gets a pass interference. That was after the deep pass pattern. But he knows right then, when he gets time like that, he goes up to Eric Williams. He gives him a little smile and says, thank you. Because today, that group is giving him time and not letting this Eagle defense knock him around.
3rd and 5. Aikman calling what kind of protection he wants.
Now they got Chris Warren back in there in the backfield.
Aikman quick. The slant play to Jason Tucker, and he had a first down. He was knocked backwards. Al Harris hit him.
And that was the one where he got the pressure on that one, and he knew that he has to get rid of it. You see, he sees that he's going to get pressure. Now he's going to throw the slant, and it's going to be right in here right now. And it's a timing thing, and he knows that there's a free guy coming on him, so he's going to have to get rid of the ball. You see, he feels the free guy coming right up in the middle, and he just throws that in there and does take a little hit.
Aikman drops it. Ernie Mills. Incomplete. Flag on the play.
Well, you know, that's about the 5th time that the corner blitzed. Bobby Taylor was in on that one. We talked about how they know that the Eagles are going to blitz, and Troy Aikman was saying that the toughest one is when that corner blitzes. Because you see the corner here. See, and you don't expect him to blitz.
69 off him. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
You see, and so you don't count him. So what the audible there is, when you do finally see him, you figure, let's throw the ball in the area that he left. That's exactly what they did. But that's the 5th time this game that Bobby Taylor has blitzed from the corner position.
1st and 20. Ben Fricky is again the center. Aikman standing in the pocket, gets it out to Emmitt Smith, who makes one man miss. Is upended at about the 28. Trotter made the stop. Mark Stepnoski has a lower back contusion, and they're going to have a further look at Mark Stepnoski.
So we talked about the type of things that they're doing for this rush of the Eagles. Now that was a 1st and real long, but again they had that loop out there, and he looks downfield. If it's not there, he just dumps it off to Emmitt Smith, which isn't really a bad play.
2nd and 15. Handoff is good. The ball comes loose again. Emmitt was hit in the back. The Cowboys get it back.
That's one thing about this Eagle defense. They are opportunistic. I mean, they do create turnovers. They are a hitting bunch. Mark Stepnoski going off in the cart there. I mean, this is good blocking, a good hole there for Emmitt Smith. He just got spun around.
Yeah.
And you see Jeremiah Trotter, the middle linebacker, who's going to be a good one. Watch, just as he spins, he starts to spin, and he gets hit right in the middle of the back by Trotter.
LaFleur, who got the block in front of him, also made the recovery. 3rd and long. Aikman for Ismail. Intercepted in the end zone by Troy Vincent. And they'll bring it out to the 20.
Yeah, you always talk about Bobby Taylor, when they play the Cowboys, because he's always the guy that plays Michael Irvin and all this. But this guy right here, Troy Vincent, is a pretty good corner himself. Now, he doesn't let Rocket Ismail get to him or beyond him. He had the position of the receiver all the way. The Rocket was in the position of the defender. This defense of the Eagles is really playing like that. I mean, they're getting interceptions, they're hitting, they're causing fumbles, they're doing everything that they have to. Their offense just can't hold their part of the deal.
Aikman had hit 8 straight. Here's Peterson. Wide open. Here's Torrance. Small gets up to about the 39-yard line for a pickup of more than enough for a first down. A flag on the play.
And that's their first down if it holds up. 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first half. They finally get their first down.
I don't think it's going to hold up.
It's probably not going to hold up. I mean, that has to, Andy Reid, the new head coach, that has to just drive him crazy. And he's had drop passes.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 74 on the offense, 15-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the rookie Doug Brzezinski. I mean, he's the left guard. You know what? Small is going to come underneath. You see, Johnson went deep, and Small came underneath, and they got the first down, and then somewhere, Brzezinski right there.
There it comes, yeah. So it's 1st and 10. But they get the penalty tacked on at the end.
Yeah, that's a post-possession penalty. So they did have the completion. They did have the first down, and then Myslinski came over the pile. He tried to pick someone off the pile, and that's an old Steve Wisniewski. And old Kevin Gogan, big old Gogan. They do those types of things. Doug Brzezinski's a young guy himself.
Well, it's not 1st and 10. 1st and 6. So they made the first down. Then they moved the flag, the marker back, and Peterson. A flag on this play as Peterson takes off. And he'll have enough for a first down this time, but they're going to bring this one back as well. Randall Godfrey knocked him out of bounds.
They just can't get anything going. Andy Reid is a young guy. Or he was a young guy when he left Green Bay and come to Philadelphia. And
second youngest in the league.
Yeah, but a few more, he's going to be the second oldest.
Yeah.
38 offense, hands up into the face mask, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
All against Cecil Martin, the fullback.
Yeah, that's another rookie. We saw Doug Brzezinski, the rookie. He got the penalty on the play before that. And now Cecil Martin, the rookie, gets a holding penalty.
Yep. Hands to the face.
That looked pretty good right there. I mean, maybe he got the hand up early.
Here's Deuce Staley. Burrowing underneath. Stopped by Michael Myers. The Cowboys rotate their ends and tackles.
And the guy that's really playing well over there is Greg Ellis. I mean, in addition to those 2 big touchdowns he has, he's been a very, very solid player.
They have Brandon Noble along with Myers as the defensive tackles.
They thought Myers was going to be the starter this year, and Alonzo Spellman beat him out. Talking about starters, I mean, this isn't Doug Peterson's fault. This is an inept offense. But at what point do you use Donovan McNabb? I mean, Donovan McNabb was the second player taken in the draft. He's a quarterback. He's going to be their quarterback. Now, the thing is, when is he going to be their quarterback? Well, I guess it's going to be when he feels and they feel that he's ready to go in there and play. You're never going to be ready until you play.
Not much done by the Eagle offense so far.
No, and they haven't had good field position.
No.
It's a 30-second timeout.
They've had penalties. They've dropped passes. They've done all those things. But on another subject, at what point do you just put Donovan McNabb in? I mean, he's not going to get any better if he doesn't play. But by the same token, you don't want him to get beat up and lose all his confidence playing before he's ready.
That's the argument against that.
And that's the thing. I mean, what they would do is they would just, blitz him and they would just be all over him.
Wednesday, the 1999 American League Championship Series begins on Fox when When either the Boston Red Sox or the Cleveland Indians head to New York to battle Derek Jeter and the defending world champions, the Yankees. The ALCS begins Wednesday live at prime time at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, right here on Fox.
I went to the Yankee game the other night, and they are a great team.
I saw you.
The Yankees are a great team. I mean, that's what impresses me about it. Is the team. I mean, they don't have a lot of great individuals, but they have no hot dogs in the team. They just play.
All the hot dogs are in the stands.
They're starting to boo old Doug Peterson here now, but I mean, he has a tough job. I mean, he doesn't have a full deck to play with out there. And if they take him out, then they put Donovan McNabb in, which, again, I say eventually they're going to do, but you'd like to have a better supporting cast than they have here.
Vendetta, this is a better kick. Deion Sanders at his 23. There is always, he says, a crease. It's up to me to find it. He gets out to the 26.
He always takes a middle return and tries to find that crease in the middle. I think he's delaying too much. I mean, who am I to say Deion Sanders is a fun returner? But I think that he's spending a little too much time back there looking for that crease before he starts to run up there. I think you can look for the crease on the run. We'll watch this and hear what I'm talking about. I think right here, after he catches the ball, he ought to run right now. I mean, I think there's too much delay there before he goes. But that's from an old tackle.
I didn't see much of a crease.
No, well, but had he run, there may have been a crease when he got there before he got there.
Here's Aikman. Fires it into the ground. It's supposed to be a screen to Chris Warren.
Yeah, they read screen all the way, and Hollis Thomas read it, and that's what a good tackle will do. He'll start on a pass rush, then if he sees screen, he just stops rushing the passer and runs straight down the line and tries to get between the quarterback and where it's going to be. Now watch Hollis Thomas. He's right here. He sees screen. Now he stops rushing, and he just goes right there, and he just gets on the running back, and then they can't throw it, or they throw an interception to him.
4 wide receivers. Aikman quickly outside to Ishmael. Picked up maybe 5, and we'll get the 2-minute warning. Dallas 10. Philadelphia nothing. 2 minutes left in the first half. Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pat Summerall with John Madden. 10-0. The Dallas Cowboys lead the Eagles. Timeout situation. The Eagles have 2 left. Dallas has 1. 3rd and 6 for Troy Aikman and the Dallas offensive unit.
The only battle that the Eagles have won this first half is a turnover. Cowboys have 2 turnovers, and the Eagles don't have any.
Aikman. Ernie Mills can't find a handle. And the Cowboys will have to punt. Toby Goin comes on.
And again, that was a rush, and Aikman held that ball as long as he could as he was going back. And then there were 2 guys on him, and he either had to get rid of it or he was going to take the sack there.
He chose to get rid of it.
Yeah, but he's so accurate that in getting rid of it, he can almost get a big completion.
That ball should have been caught. Going back deep to punt. The Eagles put a rush on, doesn't get there. With 2 Cowboys staring at him, fielded the punt and picked up about 10 yards. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report.
You know, how about that St. Louis Rams team and the highlights on that? I mean, that is unbelievable. The thing that I always remember, the 49ers and the Rams, is a few years ago, the Rams started like this. They played the 49ers. The 49ers blew them out, and Tim McDonald said, "Same old Rams."
Yeah.
And I was thinking today, I wonder if it's going to be same old Rams, but it sure doesn't look like it.
Here's a reverse pass as they go deep, intended for that Small that threw it. Intended for Johnson. It's broken up.
That was Kevin Smith back there. You know, this is the first game that he's played this season, and he doesn't go for it. But just they start on a double reverse. Small just lets it go, and Kevin Smith really wasn't fooled. I mean, he has good position there, and Charles Johnson just knocks the ball down.
Good play.
What they hope is when they see the reverse, they hope that that corner will come up to force the run, and Charles Johnson would be running free. That's how you practice it.
Pass complete to Staley. Deuce Staley shakes one tackler and gets close to an Eagle first down.
Well, the Eagles have to just get beyond, forget the goal line, but, just work on getting beyond the yellow line. Get beyond the yellow line. Once then you just keep working on the yellow line. Get beyond yellow line, yellow line, yellow line. Then you work on the goal line. They haven't got beyond the yellow line yet.
Not yet. And Staley just barely does.
He got beyond the yellow line. That's their first down. Now they're going. Now they got some momentum. Now they got something going. And we talked about things that have hurt them. I mean, they've had to drop balls and penalties. And
they go no huddle. Peterson leaped on from behind by Alonzo Spellman. Flag on the play. He might have gotten his face mask on the way down.
Alonzo Spellman came like he was Superman or something, like he had a cape on. He came flying.
87 offense.
Holding
10-yard penalty
against the tight end Jed Weaver.
In this quarter, their starting rookies, Doug Brzezinski, the left guard, Weaver, the tight end, and Cecil Martin, the fullback, have all had penalties.
And big ones.
Look at this. If you're Doug Peterson, and you got something like that, you'd say, I think it's about McNabb's turn now to try this one.
Pass caught by Torrance Small just across the 40.
These are the types of things, because he's been in this offense so long, this West Coast offense, Andy Reid offense, that Doug Peterson can do these kinds of things.
No huddle. Pass is knocked down. Chad Hennings.
Chad Hennings didn't get off the line.
No.
That's the thing.
I think the pass hit him instead of him knocking it
Sometimes
out.
you get blocked so well. I mean, watch Chad Hennings here. The Cowboys are just using a 3-man line anyway. And he's double teamed. And in essence, he really doesn't get off the line of scrimmage. And he did try and bat the ball down, but the ball hit him in the armpit, though. I mean, he jumps up and watch. The ball hits him under where he jumped to.
Peterson back to throw. Has some time. Ricocheted off the hands of Deuce Staley, incomplete.
Well, at least they got something started. They got one first down. That's something to build on, huh? And their defense has played well. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, their defense has stayed in.
Build on.
Right, and they're hustling. They're flying around. They're tackling well. They're making interceptions. They're blitzing. They're doing everything they can to win this game.
Landetta to punt. That's another good one. Sanders just runs away from it, and it's down at about the 5. Don't forget, again, coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris. Scores and highlights from around the leagues. Fox Sports Ticker will have up to the second stats. All coming up on the Visa halftime report. Andy Reid spent, 7 years with Mike Holmgren?
Yeah, and he has all of Holmgren's mannerisms, too, doesn't he?
And talks like him.
Yeah. He was a quarterback coach here.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy. He was an offensive lineman. The player, Brigham Young, was an offensive line coach, tight end coach, and then he was made a quarterback coach. Andy Reid said that Mike Holmgren wanted another quarterback coach with a double chin. That's why he made him the quarterback coach. But Andy Reid does not look like a quarterback coach.
No, he doesn't.
Because you look at that body, and you know that body never played quarterback.
10-0. The Cowboys lead the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles trooping in up the tunnel to their locker room for the halftime messages. And there's Emmitt Smith, who scored the Cowboy touchdown, joins the rest of the Cowboys. Dan Irvin, Cowboys' longtime good, great, perhaps wide receiver, was hit on that play. Here's another look at it, John.
Yeah, and you can see that it's his helmet going into the turf in his right shoulder. They took him off. They took him in an ambulance. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, went with him. We just talked to Rich Dalrymple, the PR man from the Cowboys, and he said Jerry Jones called back here to the stadium and said that they're cautiously optimistic that he is moving his extremities.
And Rich Dalrymple also said, as they were putting Michael into the ambulance, he asked him, was he okay? He said, are you okay, Michael? Michael said, yes, I am. So that's all encouraging, but we're still cautious and hoping.
And they're still taking a lot of tests.
Out to the 25. Let's go down to DJ Johnson.
I spoke to Chan Gailey at halftime about what he said to his team about the Michael Irvin situation. Chan said he didn't address it at all. He said no one on the team asked, and he didn't tell. He said he believed that the word of Michael Irvin is starting to filter through the team. They heard he has movement in his extremities, and everyone is a little more relaxed now about his condition. Back to you, Pat and John.
All right, DJ. That reception that he made when he was injured was the 750th of his career, and that moves him into a tie for 9th place with Charlie Joiner. This is Deuce Staley. Staley out to about the 30.
Yeah, we talked about Donovan McNabb, and if he should go in the game. And when Doug Peterson came in, the Philadelphia Eagle fans here all booed because they want to see McNabb too. But I think there's only two people that know when and if he's ready. One is Donovan McNabb, and the other is the coach. And I think until they feel that he's really ready, then they're probably not going to just put him in a game where they still have a chance.
Stopped at the line of scrimmage is Deuce Staley. I think we'll see him at some point in the third quarter.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put him in, now would be the time, because if you're not going to put a guy in who's the second player chosen in the draft when you have a chance, then the reverse of that would be when the game is out of hand and you don't have a chance, and say go in and win at McNabb. I mean, now he would still have a chance to go in and win the game.
The word we have is that Mark Stepnoski, who had a back contusion in the first half, will not be back. Doug Peterson scrambling around. Kavika Pittman makes sure he stayed down, and the fans again start to boo.
And the fans have a right to boo. I mean, this is one of the worst offenses that I've ever seen. I mean, they just, they can't run the ball, they can't pass it, they can't pass protect. Here's Greg Ellis coming around the corner. He's getting to be a pretty good pass rusher because they're using a new technique. He used to be a 5 technique where he was tightening the tackle. Now it's called a wide 5, where he gets to line up a little more outside the tackle like we just saw.
Landetta's punt sails out of bounds as a flag on the play back at the line of scrimmage. But Sean Landetta didn't hit that one very well at all.
No, that was the word that if it were golf you would never say. I mean, you never used that word shank. But the penalty is going to be against the Eagles, and I think the Cowboys are going to have such good field position.
The kicking team, number 38, downfield. Penalty is declined. First down.
Cecil Martin, and you're right. The Cowboys decline the penalty, so they take over once again with good field position, leading the Eagles 10-0.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform. Be different.
The paperwork goes on the sideline while the Cowboys are ready to go. LaFleur in motion, and the pitch is back to Emmitt Smith. And Emmitt gets about 9. He has to cross that yellow line.
Hey, you know who I saw in the bathroom? Two old Eagles. Mike Quick. Remember Mike Quick?
Sure do. Good
wide receiver, and who was Mike Quick was one of the best blocking receivers I think that ever played the game.
Yeah.
And the other guy, a little goofy sometimes. Look, he says he owns a lot of hotels now. Bill Berge, or the old linebacker,
Really?
Bill Berge. Yeah.
A little goofy, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in the bathroom.
All that in the bathroom?
Yeah. Here's Mike Quick and Bill Berge. We're having a talk.
I'm surprised you got back so soon.
Well, I didn't get back so soon. I was a little late getting back. You have to talk.
Emmett just shy of a first down, I believe.
Bill Berge, when he was a rookie at Cincinnati, we're playing, and there's Mike Quick right there. There's Mike Quick right there. Yeah. I think Bill Berge does some radio work too. I think they both do some radio work.
Mike Quick made a bathroom stop. John Madden made a bathroom stop.
And Bill Berge. Berge's here somewhere.
So they all look comfortable.
Bill Berge looks like Matt Miller. He's dressed in a sweatsuit. He looks like he's ready to go work out.
Here's Aikman. To Chris Warren. Warren gets up enough.
There he is. There's old Bill Berge right there. I thought he said he was doing some radio work. He doesn't have a microphone. That's what linebackers will do.
If he's doing radio work, he's missing some equipment.
He doesn't. Maybe the work is he's listening to it. Or he may have some kind of post-game gig, probably.
That from now on.
But see, we find them around there. We find those guys.
You'll be the three amigos. Madden, Quick, and Berge.
Draw to that. That's the reason you get a full house.
Aikman is hit just as he lets it go through the hands of Ismail.
You know, that's the second play in a row that Mike Mamula hit Troy Aikman. On that play before, he got him, and this time he got him. He's going to come from this side right here. Gets around Flozell Adams. You see, he takes an inside move. Larry Allen almost holds him, but he also hit Troy Aikman and knocked him down the play before that.
Third and about 8 or 9. Four wide receiver setup. Mills comes in motion and stops. Aikman has time and throws incomplete. And a man, Jeff Ogden.
That was an interesting thing, as you said. Mills came in motion, and Warner was over there too, and they just kind of made a whole line so that Aikman could get out to this right side. And it's interesting that the most important thing in this Cowboy offensive game plan is their pass protection.
That seemed to be the first thing they were concerned about coming in here.
Yeah, Chan Gailey wasn't going to let Troy Aikman get knocked around here today.
Going to punt. Kick bounds down to about the 2-yard line, and again the Cowboys down it there.
And again the Eagles are going to have terrible field position.
Jeff Ogden down to down it. The Eagles have been in dreadful places to start. Bernie Kukar, the referee, has gone over with Chan Gailey, and Chan's called him over again.
Yeah, he's going to go review this one, Pat. This is going to be reviewable because they said the ball was a touchback. They declared later that the ball went in the end zone. The ball never did get in the end zone.
Where is he going to review it? To the bathroom?
I don't know. I mean, he left the building.
Yeah.
I mean, it's way down there, and it could be a bad weather thing. They have to keep it in the tunnel. But you watch this. This ball never does go in the end zone, nor does whoever touches the ball have their feet on the end zone or in the end zone or on the goal line.
He had been in the end zone, but he came out.
And he can come out as long as he doesn't touch it while he's in the end zone. That's legal, and the ball should have been spotted there, and this will be one that they'll probably overturn. Well, they should overturn him.
Yeah, they should.
I mean, all the evidence says that the ball never went in the end zone. The official is right there looking at it. I mean, he should know what it is. And he throws his beanbag. His beanbag went in the end zone, though. He threw his beanbag. I don't know. He should have thrown it where they touched it down. The beanbag had a little hook on it.
Both players jumped over the end zone line.
Yeah, I mean, that ball should be right there. That's not...
Both Ogden and Charlie Williams, there's the review process going on in the tunnel.
And probably because of the rain, it was raining heavy before the game, so they usually have these review things outside.
Yeah.
Probably because of the rain, they had to put it in the tunnel.
That's pretty clear. I don't know why this is taking...
Well, I thought initially they said that that the ball was down into 1 or 2, and then they later said that it was a touchback.
Well, that one official threw his beanbag down in the end zone, as you saw.
But he was looking right at where the guy was. I don't know why it would have went in the end zone.
Andy Reid looking on, and Chan Gailey has challenged this, obviously.
And obviously it's one that could be challenged because it is a boundary, and that was a boundary infraction or a boundary call.
Well, he's made his decision.
After reviewing the play, the man reestablished himself in the field of play, touched the ball at the 1-yard line. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. There is no charge timeout.
No timeout charge to the Cowboys. They moved the ball back to the 1.
Yeah, and that was the right call. And I think they called that the first time, and then they changed their mind, and then they bring it back again. And Troy Aikman saying, good job. When we get out there, we'll do this. Andy Reid is saying, I haven't won anything since I've been in Philadelphia, including a challenge.
He even looks a little bit like Mike Holmgren.
Yeah, but he's going to look like Mike Holmgren's grandfather
if this
doesn't start getting something going here. This is tough. I mean,
really a nice guy, Andy Reid.
Yes, he is, and he's a good coach. But he's took him time to get this bad. It's going to take him time to get better.
Staley gets out to the 15. Long run, certainly the longest gain of today on the ground by the Eagles.
Yeah, and in their behalf, they've had some bad things. We talked about the penalties they've had, the drop passes, those kinds of things that have stopped them too. Terrible field position.
Staley knocked backwards this time. There's nothing there. It's a host of Cowboys.
But having said that, even though they've had all these things, they are, at some point you have to say that this is an inept offense.
I think you have to say that.
They've been trying. They've been trying here for 10 years to get an offensive line, and they've used draft, and they've just never been able to get one to stay and play together for a long period of time.
Peterson well behind his intended receiver, Dietrich Gels. That's not always the quarterback's fault.
No, a lot of times on that slant, you have to throw the ball away from the defender too. There's a guy who has to really be feeling this right above the belly button area. The owner of the Philadelphia Eagles,
Jeff Lurie. Somebody will say to me he doesn't even go out in public.
Well, you don't see him around like you used to, do you?
Nope. Pass incomplete. Gels again. The ball went right through his arm.
They haven't thrown any on Deion Sanders, but that doesn't mean anything. They haven't thrown any on Kevin Smith either. No. They haven't thrown anything to anyone successfully.
Kevin Smith got a hand on this.
Yes,
one.
he did. Yeah. I mean, that's good coverage, and that's a second big play he had. Remember, they tried that reverse pass, and they tried to fool him, and he had great coverage on that play.
Landetta again has the ball come off the inside of his foot. Deion.
See, I told you, he's taking too much time dancing around before he goes. You got to go.
He keeps saying he's come up with another dance, but if he keeps dancing like that, he's not going to have a chance to use it. 10-0.
This is what we're talking about here, Pat. I mean, Deion Sanders, good catch, makes it, but he dances here. You see right there. I mean, you got to go. You can't be doing this, because the longer you do that, the more time those white jerseys have to converge on you.
Smith over the left side. Got a yard, perhaps 2, maybe.
You know, this Eagle defense has really been pretty good against Troy Aikman. You can see by the zones where he's worked. He's worked the short passes, 7 out of 11 to the left and 6 out of 8 to the right. And that's really where he's got me. He hasn't thrown any in the middle on either side. He's thrown 2 deep to the left and 1 deep to the right is all. And he's stayed pretty cautious in this game, in the passing game.
2nd and 8. They give again to Smith, who breaks a tackle and stumbles up about 2 yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, this offense, kind of bogged down. I mean, you lose a Michael Irvin, and then you lose a Mark Stepnoski. You don't have your right guard, Everett McIver. So
that'll cause you to burn.
It's easy to say, that they ought to open it up, they ought to go after him, because I feel a little, and Chan Gailey thought last week too that they would go and go and go and then put it on cruise control offensively. And I kind of feel that they've had it on cruise control a lot offensively today.
Here's Emmitt Smith again. He does get a first down before he's knocked out of bounds by William Thomas.
It's amazing how Emmitt Smith has been such a great player for such a long time.
Yeah.
And you look at all those other running backs, that were good last year and they're injured. Look at the quarterbacks and they're injured. Whatever happens, it seems like number 22 is always there for the Cowboys.
Well, you remember the last couple of years, people had said he hadn't got it anymore, he's over the hill, or he's lost a step or something like that. He said to us in a meeting earlier this year, you remember, I feel better than I have in 3 years. Pass is out to the Rocket, Ismail. Stopped by Benson.
This is what we're just talking about. Look at this. Look at this season. What a topsy-turvy year. The Super Bowl teams were 0-8 going into this weekend. The top 4 rushers, Terrell Davis, Jamal Anderson, are out for the season. Garrison Hurst is out indefinitely, could be out for the season. Barry Sanders retired. 4 out of the 5 leading quarterbacks, Testaverde, Young, Chandler, Elway, of course, retired. So that's what makes it topsy-turvy. I think the things that were aren't.
What do you think about Jamal Anderson? Nobody hit him when he got hurt. And Terrell Davis got hurt by his own man.
And then you say, who would have thought, under the area of who would have thought the undefeated teams would be Dallas, New England, and St. Louis. Now, there's a big surprise. But look at that. The top 5 quarterbacks would be Kurt Warner would be the top quarterback. I mean, no one even knew this guy's name.
Brad Johnson, he can play. He's good.
Yeah, and and Drew Bledsoe, of course, is, and Neil O'Donnell's been around. But the running backs, how about Stephen Davis from the Washington Redskins?
Aikman, outside quick to Warren, who leaned forward close to a first down.
Yeah, but they're bringing it back a little. Watch where they put that. I mean, see, Chris Warren tried to stretch that out, and then the official who spotted it brought it back, and this is going to be very close. But you can see there, I think it is a first down, but the official chains are on this side. You have a marker on the other side, but the official chains are over on the side away from it, right here. These guys here, these guys that are running in, they're the official chain.
Well, they change it to half.
At halftime, they go on one side the first half, they're on the other side the first half, then they're on this half the second side. So that marker there is not official, that's right outside it, but this one right here is, and it's going to be a first down.
And that ball's wet on one side.
You see the lunge right there is they let him have the first part of the lunge. You see where it's where the ball is when your knee goes down, and that's where the official spotted the ball, not where you reach it out and put it at the end.
Where your ball is when your knee goes down. How about the Bears leading Minnesota?
That's what I just said. It's a topsy-turvy year.
Yeah, you did. You're right. Here's Emmett again. And Emmett gets to about the 38.
I'll tell you one thing about this game, though, and then you get a little rain, a little cooler. It's good hitting weather, and there's some good hitting going on down there. I mean, this isn't like a great football game. I mean, the Eagles can't do anything at all offensively. The Cowboys are a little on cruise control, but both these teams are hitting each other.
And this is good hitting weather.
Yeah, it's a little muggy for good hitting weather. Good hitting weather is when there's a little more nip in the air than now. A little wet, a little nip in the air.
I never found that day.
Frost on the pumpkin.
Aikman lofts it outside in the direction of his fullback, Tim Lester.
But again, there's no way that Troy Aikman is going to take those hits today. And we talked about protection being part of it, running game being part of it, and those little check loops to the back. If there's nothing down there, just get rid of it to one of those guys, and maybe that's part of the conservative offense too.
Well, Chan Gailey's got a lot going on. He's not only the head coach; he calls the plays into Aikman. A lot of things to keep track of. Now they got instant replay. He wants to challenge. 3rd and 7. Blitz coming. Aikman gets rid of it. Jason Tucker, the intended receiver.
That was a heck of a play by Chris Warren. I mean, he came in there and he saw the blitz coming, and they would have knocked Aikman down. Chris Warren comes back there and comes across, pick up the blitz. Watch him right here. He sees it on that side, and he just gets over there in front of Troy Aikman just enough that he really knocked 2 off. Now, it wasn't a first down. It didn't do anything, but it saved Troy Aikman from a big hit by 2 guys.
That's a heck of a play.
And you can take 2 that are coming free and save your quarterback, it is.
And come as far as he had to come. Toby going again, hangs one way up there. And this one does bound into the end zone, and this one they will bring back to the 20. And there'll be no challenge. The Eagles take over at their own 20.
NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. By Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Ameritrade, believe in yourself. And by Nextel, how business gets done.
Welcome back to the Vet. And as what most people would expect around here, the boos are starting to come. Every time the offense takes the field now, the fans are booing because they want Donovan McNabb to go in. We'll see if that prompts the coach to put him in here soon. Back to you, Pat.
It is still Doug Peterson, and Deuce Staley gets the carry.
One of the things, the Eagles haven't scored a touchdown. We mentioned this earlier, since the first game of the season. And the thing about that is they have a lot of turnovers, but they haven't taken the turnover. Usually you look at turnovers and then turnovers lead to points. I mean, they've got all these turnovers and then no points off turnovers.
James Bostic comes in for Deuce Staley. Bostic gets the carry. And they get a couple. Well, 12 punts by both teams. Points scored by both teams. More punts than points.
No, and that's either, when you have more punts than points, you either have to say this is a boring offensive game or this is a great defensive battle.
What did you say?
This is a boring offensive game.
Flag on the play.
Well, this isn't very good offensive football.
Kevin Smith, Izell Reese. Flag's going to be against him.
Izell Reese is playing for Darren Woodson.
Yep.
We mentioned Darren Woodson got hurt in practice the other day. They didn't know if he was going to play today.
43 defense. First down.
They checked him out, and they did. Watch him come in here and use his left hand. Watch, he gets his left hand, grabs him on the shoulder, and pulls him around. His right hand was all right. It was that left hand on the shoulder by Izell Reese that was a penalty.
He wasn't going to catch the ball anyway. But it's first down in Philadelphia. the handoff to Staley. And Deuce will get another Eagle first down as for the first time today they get into Cowboy territory. Right now for an update. Again, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
And John, take a look at Tony Horn, special teams for the Rams. If it's not the offense, it's special teams doing damage. 97 yards to pay dirt. Second career touchdown for Horn. Boy, Rams spanking San Francisco 35-20. Back to Pat and John.
Spanking San Francisco. The Cowboys are slugging the Eagles, or slugging it out with the Eagles. Here's Staley.
Now they finally got some good field position. This is the deepest penetration the Eagles have had all day, and now they're getting a little something going. Now, if you get some running going, then you can go some play pass and you can do some things. And what was frustrating the Eagles before this is they weren't getting anything going at all, so you couldn't do anything off anything that you hadn't gotten going.
2nd and 4. Staley again tried to cut it back. Slipped down. The slip caused by Kavika Pittman.
Yeah, Kavika Pittman got penetration, and he got in the backfield, and Staley is trying to cut off of that, and he just slips. But that will be the thing. If you say what stops the run better than anything, it's penetration at the line of scrimmage. When you play on their side of the ball, it is very, very difficult to run. Kavika Pittman made that play from right there the last time.
3rd and 6. Here's Peterson back to throw, chased out of the pocket by Pittman. Now he's going to loft it deep and does, and it's intercepted by Izell Reese. In the end zone, and so they'll bring it back to the 20.
Izell Reese, who just had the penalty. Kavika Pittman, who just made the play before, really gets Doug Peterson out of a rhythm and makes him scramble and throw this one. I don't know. That's one of the things. This guy falls down. It's that kind of day.
Yep.
Watch Kavika Pittman here. He just starts to the outside. He's being held and everything. He makes Doug Peterson scramble out here and then locate the interception.
Donovan McNabb on the Eagles sideline. Their first-round draft choice. Their first draft choice. Troy Aikman, who a few years ago was the Cowboys' first draft choice.
They haven't sacked him today, but you look, they've hurt him 10 times and hit him 6 times. He's had 1 interception. They've gotten after him pretty good, but they haven't gotten him while he still had the ball.
Aikman drops and throws quickly, complete to Ernie Mills. A gain of about 7.
Yeah, they've knocked him down or hit him just like they did on that play, and it's been that kind of day for him. I mean, there's they're blitzing the corners, they're coming from all over and make him, not get in the rhythm that he wants to. That's the thing that Jim Johnson, defensive coordinator of the Eagles, is starting, not letting him get in a rhythm, not let him throw when he wants to, but make him throw when we want him to, and the Eagles have done a good job of that.
Pitch back to Emmett. And Emmett out of bounds. That should put him over 100 yards for the day. His 24th carrier.
We saw a picture earlier of Donovan McNabb, and this is the first time we've seen him on the sideline with his helmet on.
Yes.
So I would expect that, I don't know if they've told him he's going to go in the next time they have the ball, or he thinks it's about time he should be going in. But he does have his helmet on, so that, before when we saw he had a cape on.
That was Darren Woodson over on the Cowboys sideline. He sprained his ankle in practice. Passed through the arms of Raghib Ismail, the Rocket. There's Darren Woodson. Stepped on somebody's foot in practice on Thursday.
He had a high ankle sprain, and they said they were going to work him out here this morning. to see if he was going to play or not, but they never did bring him out here to work him out. They just made him inactive, and he's a very, very important part of that defense.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's the kind of guy who would say, if he was in uniform, I'm going to play.
And they can get along without him today.
Yeah. LaFleur makes the catch for about 8 from Aikman.
I think Troy Aikman wishes that LaFleur was a little more nimble. You know, he could move around a little, because he really liked. You go all the way back to Jay Novacek, and Aikman loves to throw to his tight end.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Cowboys 10, the Eagles nothing. Fox NFL Sunday from Veterans Stadium will continue after a word from your local Fox station. A couple of very lonely Eagle fans. One on the right. Well, the Cowboys give to Emmitt Smith on first down, and Emmitt breaks away one from one tackler, runs out of bounds close to midfield. Another Cowboy first down.
Yeah, we're seeing more and more outside plays to the Cowboys. That's something that Chan Gailey brought. Remember, before that, they would always run the in plays and I formation, and now they're going more outside. And I think we're saying Donovan McNabb, I think this is a pretty good indicator here that he's going to go in the next time the Eagles get the ball. First of all, he put the hat on, and then he started warming up. So I think he put the hat on maybe first on his own, and then someone probably said, hey, you're going in.
Aikman from behind. Did well not to fumble. Mike Mamula, who's been close a lot of times, finally got there.
Hey, Mamula has been close, and he's been doing a good job over there on the right defensive side, and that's the backside of Troy Aikman. Watch him come from here. He's going to go against Flozell Adams. Flozell Adams starts outside. Larry Allen starts to the outside, and Mamula just splits them both, and Troy Aikman didn't see him nor feel him coming. That was quite a jolt he took.
Yeah, he did well not to lose the ball. Aikman drops. Aikman throws back across his body, back to Emmitt Smith.
That's the old deal of always having that back short somewhere.
Yep. Coming up, some of you will see the ultimate in head-to-head competition as world champion and Olympic athletes join forces. Fox Sports presents the Grand Slam of Skating World Super Teams Challenge. Check your local listings for the start time in your area. 3rd and 17 for Dallas. From the shotgun. Fricky is still his center. Pass is caught. What a throw and what a catch by Jeff Ogden. And now they're saying incomplete. They're correct.
And he trapped that one. Yeah, we talk about Troy Aikman is thrown, but he's only averaging 4.5 per throw. This is one of the few that he's thrown deep lately. And you see Ogden come up, and he's going to lead him back. And you see, when you run a hook pattern, if you're going to lead the guy, you have to lead him back to you.
Allen Rossum back deep for the Eagles for Toby Goins' punt.
That official must have saw a different angle.
Yeah, he must have.
That angle, he looked like he caught that ball.
Get over.
Rossum signals fair catch, but can't catch up to it, and it goes out of bounds. The Eagles will take over at the 26. And let's check out their quarterback.
Peterson's going in.
Peterson. McNabb still on the sideline. Rowing is big here in Philadelphia. The Eagles are not. Kavika Pittman again. Chasing Peterson.
Remember that pass to Jeff Ogden?
Yep.
It looked like he caught the ball. It was a good call by the officials. Look right here. The ball hits the ground. The one that we saw, it looked like he caught the ball, but that official was right on it and made the right call.
The late substitution coming in for Dallas. And the handoff goes quickly. It's Staley, and Staley stays on his feet and pulls away from a couple of tacklers. Now he's saying they had me by the face mask.
He's going to any official that'll listen, and finally there is a flag down.
Yep. Cowboys got late substitutions in, and the Philadelphia Eagles ran a play before they got set.
You know, if there's one bright spot on this Philadelphia Eagle offensive team, we know that there's some bright spots in the defensive team, but it has to be Deuce Staley.
Yep.
I mean, he looks like a guy who really enjoys playing football, and you know, maybe if he had some better people around him, would, you know, be one of the top guys. Yep, that is going to be.
Yep.
And the face mask and unnecessary. Holy moly.
Yeah, it's a bunch.
Yeah, they got him for too many men on the field and face mask. You know, face mask, there's a 5-yard variety and a 15-yard.
Too many men on the field on the defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, grabbing and pulling on the face mask. 15 yards from the end of the run. That penalty is accepted. First down.
That's a 15-yard. I mean, you're going to see the extra guy was right there. He's trying to get off, and he wasn't off before the ball was snapped. But that penalty was declined. The face mask penalty for 15 yards is the one that they called right there.
And that moves the Eagles into Cowboy territory at the 44 as Peterson looks to throw it. Knocked down. Incomplete. Isaiah Reese again. The pass intended for Terrence Small.
Isaiah Reese is one of those guys who plays nickel and plays special teams, second-year guy, and he's done pretty well in those positions. Here he gets a good jump. I mean, literally. I mean, he's way up in the air. Then the ball goes right through his hands.
2nd and 10. Staley. Fumble. And the Eagles get it back. Staley gets it back. Isaiah Reese on the tackle.
Deuce Staley looks like a man possessed here. I mean, he's going after him. He said, I mean, if I have to go out here and win this thing single-handedly, I'll do it. Just hand it to me. Give me some blocks, and I'll run over some. That's exactly what he's doing. I mean, here, he looks like Isaiah Reese is all ready to make the hit on him. He just gives him a little move and keeps on going.
He almost got the ball out, but Staley held on. Here's Peterson. Incomplete. Charles Johnson, the intended receiver. Kevin Smith right back there with him.
Well, those are the things that you can do. I mean, you know, it's not, I mean, the protection's a little better. You have a shot at a guy. And it's interesting that Kevin Smith, I don't know, you know, he's had a bulging disc in his back. I think he hurt himself on that play, Pat, because after that play, he raised his hand and took himself out.
Peterson hasn't completed a pass in this half. Bostic is the setback. Peterson fires incomplete. Right through their hands. And again, Douglas can't hang on this time. That's a hard pass to catch. He threw it very hard.
Yeah,
and low.
That's Damian Douglas, a rookie from the University of California. He was drafted by the Raiders, waived by the Raiders, and the Eagles picked him up. And again, you don't have time to work with these guys. I mean, this is a slant pattern, and he has to catch that, though. I mean that ball is right in what they call the old bread basket. It went into the bread basket and bounced right out.
Juwan Hawthorne replaced Kevin Smith. Cowboys blitz. Now Peterson tries to take off and then just tucks it under. And it's going to be 4th down.
You know, made a good play there. He's stumbling to stand up as Chad Hennings. You know, because it looked like Doug Peterson had a lane to run in, and Chad Hennings just stood right in that lane. Watch Chad Hennings here, and this play could have stopped the 1st down. So he's getting double team. Now watch, now he has the lane. See Doug Peterson starting to run? Watch Chad Hennings right there. He plugs that lane, and Doug Peterson, hey, with big old 95, I can't be doing any running.
So the Eagles will try a field goal. Norm Johnson from 48 yards out. And Johnson is good, and the Eagles finally get on the board. It's 10-3 with 11:48 left.
Break out the balloons.
Dallas 10, Philadelphia 3. Dallas 10, Philadelphia 3. Kevin Smith looked like he's okay.
Yeah, it could have been one of those things that, you know, not having played, being in shape and being in football shape were two different things, and he could just be running out of gas.
Yeah.
But he did take himself out.
Jeff Ogden to return the kick. Ogden still on his feet, struggles out to the 35-yard line. Tonight it's pivotal game 4 of the AL Division Series when the Boston Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive and force a decisive game 5 as they battle the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The two starting pitchers in tonight's contest. It's 1st and 10 Dallas. Aikman pitches back to Emmett. And right now, let's send you down to DJ Johnson.
Yeah, I'm here with Cowboys injured defensive back Darren Woodson. Darren, how do you think the defense has played without you there today?
They played great. Isaiah Reese came in, filled my spot, filled in for me. He's playing good, and George Teague is going to be the captain out there for today, and he's been keeping this team together.
When do you think you'll be back?
I got a high ankle sprain. I'm hopefully trying to come back next week. I don't know what's going to happen just yet.
Have you got? Okay, thanks a lot, Darren. Appreciate it.
He really is a wonderful player, Darren Woodson, and a wonderful guy too. Aikman fakes and drops it up the middle, incomplete.
You know, you talk about that Greg Ellis play last week. If it weren't for Darren Woodson, Greg Ellis wouldn't have run that thing all the way back.
That's true. Right now, for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Hey, Pat, wonderful also describes the offense of the Rams. Take a look at Warner all day long. 4th touchdown catch by Isaac Bruce. 5th touchdown toss by Warner today. 42-20 over San Francisco. Might qualify as a spank. Back to Pat and John.
Not the same old Rams, I guess, huh?
They are not the same old Rams.
3rd and 6.
How about Isaac Bruce, 4 touchdowns. Kurt Warner, 5 touchdown passes.
Aikman looking to his right.
Look out.
Standing. Pass is complete to Ismail. The Rocket. Aikman had forever.
Yeah, and the first one that he went up there is to his offensive lineman and gave them that high five type of sign to thank them for that time. Because if he does have time, I mean, he's going to do surgery on you. He's going to find something. It took him a long time to find something because the Eagles did have good coverage. Now, there's no way that you can cover a receiver like Ismail that long and not have him catch a ball. I mean, if you can protect the guy and give a quarterback like Troy Aikman that much time, he's going to complete the pass.
1st and 10. Fakes to Emmett. Rolls right. LaFleur got held up. Pass is broken up. Troy Vincent.
And we talked about this Eagle defense being a good defense. They have 2 good corners.
Yep.
I mean, Bobby Taylor, we talked about him, but this Troy Vincent, he's a heck of a corner too.
That's a pretty good place to start, your cornerbacks.
I mean, watch him. I mean, he gets there at the same time the ball does. I mean, it just knocks that thing right out of there. He read that all the way. That was a bootleg. The Cowboys don't run a lot of bootlegs or stuff where Troy Aikman runs, but they seem to be doing it more this year.
Pitch is back to Emmitt Smith, who just jogs out of bounds. Jim Hawk, Bobby Taylor, Brian Dawkins all up to face him.
There's a little rumble going on downfield here about the 30-yard line. Yeah,
But I don't see any Cowboys. Look like a pair of Eagles rumbling.
When guys just going against themselves, huh? If the Eagles are going to have any rumbles amongst themselves, I think it's all Fricky in there, isn't it? I think it was all Eagles and Ben Fricky. Ben Fricky, the center, playing for Mark Stepnoski.
Aikman That's Ernie Mills that made the reception. They get him down perhaps into field goal range.
Yeah,
Cunningham.
that'll be in field goal range, and they'll be kicking a field goal here. And again, that was the thing that the Cowboy passing offense is very conservative today. As we said, they've averaging 4.5 yards per attempt. So they're really not getting the ball down the field much, and they always have that loop out there, either a back or like Ernie Mills on that time, just to guarantee they won't take a loss.
Cunningham made his first one from 42. This is 50. Plenty of leg, but no good. And they'll bring it back and give the Eagles pretty fair field position. 10-3. Back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, Pat Summerall, John Madden. The Cowboys 10, the Eagles 3. The Eagles have the ball at their own 41. Staley, just a yard. Stopped by Spellman.
In the second half, Deuce Staley now has carried the ball 11 times for 68 yards. So we said that offensively, the Eagles all day haven't gotten anything going until Deuce Staley got them going here. You can see the second half, 65 yards for 7.2 yards per carry. First half, it was just averaging 1.8. So did they get anything going offensively? They have gotten Deuce Staley going in the second half.
Ball deflected and bounces on the turf.
Doug Peterson has more tip balls than anyone I've ever seen. Here's two of Deuce Staley's runs from the last series. You can see that that he not only runs with movement, but he runs with power, and he really finishes his runs off. He never stops his legs moving.
He's about 220, maybe a little bit bigger than that. That's what they list him at. And not very tall. So
there's one offensive Eagle I would take.
Pass is caught from Peterson to Charles Johnson, all the way down at the Dallas 19.
And that is something you say you don't do if you have double coverage. Don't throw into double coverage. Charlie Wilson is here on Charles Johnson. Johnson makes a good move, then a little swim. He's going to get some help from the inside. He doesn't get over, and Johnson makes the catch. I'll tell you, that was a heck of a move he made getting by him. See, he started the outside, then he gave him a little left hand, threw the right hand in to get inside, and then he had that post there before the safety got over.
This is an Eagle timeout. They just called it. There was some confusion on what play they wanted.
Big E doesn't have his pants on.
I know. Dallas ahead 10-3, but the Eagles, after that pass completion from Peterson to Johnson, have a first down at the Dallas 21.
That pass completion was 36 yards, and it was their longest play of the year.
Peterson drops, fakes left, throws right. Luther Broughton gets inside the 10.
See, that's what we were talking about earlier. After you hit a few things, after you hit a deep one, then you can throw a screen pass. The Eagles were trying to throw screen passes, and they hadn't hit anything. You see, Broughton is going to be out here, and he comes across in motion. Peterson comes back, fakes to the left, throws the screen pass out to his tight end, who had come in motion from the left to the right. Steve Everett gets out there and gets a pretty good block right there to spring Broughton.
The handoff is to Staley. Randall Godfrey wrapped him up.
Dallas is thinking that they let this team sit in there, that their defense, the Eagle defense, has played so well, and I always felt that Cowboy offense was a little on cruise control. But maybe they didn't need that much more. But if they get one in here, they're going to have to start playing again.
Second and goal. Peterson drops, looks back to his left, another screen pass. This one's to Staley. Staley around the corner, flag on the play. Flag downfield.
I think that was the left guard, Doug Brzezinski again, Pat. the penalties generally have been killing the Eagles, specifically the penalties by the rookies. This is Brzezinski. This is going to be Brzezinski's second.
Holding, 74 offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
That's a tough one.
You're going to see Brzezinski is right here, number 74. And you're going to see him hold right there. See that left hand in there?
Well, there's no doubt about it.
No, there's no doubt. It's right in front of the official and right in front of the ball and right in front of the touchdown.
Which is called back, and now the line of scrimmage is back just inside the Dallas 20. Second and goal. Peterson gets to Staley. Deuce Staley gets back to the 13. Tavika Pittman tripped him up.
Brzezinski got a pretty good block that time. We're talking about what the Cowboys did with Larry Allen. Brzezinski's doing some of the same things. He was out there in the screen to the left, and that time he pulls to the right. You're going to see him here. He's going to pull to the right and lead the play up. He gets a kick out right here that Staley runs right off of. That's your left guard. You see him pull right there. Boink, right there. Pretty good.
Not bad. Third and goal. Peterson drops to throw it. Goes across the field. No flag as yet. The crowd, the Eagles yelling for one, but Dexter Coakley broke it up.
And the Eagles are going to have to kick a field goal here. I know that you think you ought to go for a touchdown, but in this situation here, they have to kick a field goal. I think that was just good defense,
that was
don't
a good
you?
play. Dexter Coakley, yeah.
Dexter Coakley is what, we say Woodson is a defensive back that can play like a linebacker. Dexter Coakley is a linebacker that can play like a defensive back.
And he's playing very well. Johnson's field goal is good from 31 yards.
Yeah, and that's the thing that they had to do. Just keep it close. One thing the Eagles have done today is they've just hung in there. They haven't gotten anything going offensively. Their defense is playing outstanding. The Cowboys look like they're not going for a lot of things. That's what Chan Gailey is saying here. That we let these guys hang in there all day, and now we got 5 minutes and 42 seconds of dogfight left.
Just thinking ahead, is it too early for an onside kick?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think with 5 minutes 42 seconds, they have 2 of their timeouts. You got the 2-minute warning, change of possession. That's a lot of time. I think if they thought that they were going to, if they were desperate and they needed to play, I think they would have gone for it on 4th down. I think the fact that you kick a field goal, you are saying our defense is playing well. We can kick off, we can stop them, and we're going to get the ball back again.
Well, Joe Avesano, who handles the Dallas special teams, the kickoff return team, one of those, has instructed them what he wants done. And it doesn't look like they're expecting an onside kick either. Akers kicks deep. It's going to be Ogden to return it. Jeff Ogden out to about the 28. Fantastic finishes in 1995. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, they did it twice. Remember, it was 4th down. Barry Switzer called that play 2 times.
Remember this? Aikman intercepted, and who will ever forget the fumbles from center, the fumble snapped by Tommy Hutton. And the Cowboys hung on to win that one.
We could have another one of those coming up. At least by that field goal by the Eagles, I think we dodged overtime.
Yeah.
Because I was getting a little whiff, not a big smell, a little whiff of overtime coming.
I thought I smelled it. Here's Emmitt Smith. Cuts back outside the 35 to the 37, stopped by Tim Houck.
Yeah, it's funny that Emmitt Smith's cutbacks really haven't been there since Mark Stepnoski went out. And when Mark Stepnoski wasn't there, and then later they got Ray Donaldson, who was still a very good center, the cutbacks were there. After they lost Ray Donaldson, Emmitt Smith hasn't had a lot of cutbacks until he got Mark Stepnoski back.
And don't forget Darrell Johnson.
Yeah, that's big too. Bill Johnston, one of the best blocking fullbacks that ever played this game.
Aikman reaches for Emmitt Smith, and he doesn't get a first down.
You know the Eagles come in here 0-4, and the offense can't do anything, and you think that the defense would get down, but watch these guys. I mean, they got 8 men up there. They're just playing the heck out of run. They're playing run about as hard as you can play run without run blitzing.
Well, you think about their 0-4 record. 2 of their losses were by 1 point.
Right, and they'll fight you. I mean, this defense will fight you, and I'll say this, because of this strong defense, the Cowboy offense has been very, very conservative.
And because of that defense, the Eagles are still in this game. They get to Emmitt, and Emmitt won't make a first down.
That's a big play. That's why they didn't need onside kicks and stuff.
Right. William Thomas. There's the defensive coordinator, Jimmy Johnson, who was at Seattle last year.
Jim Johnson says that we have to go after him. Look, again, they have 9 men right up there at the line of scrimmage. And all the Cowboys would have to do, I mean, you hate to second guess, but if you go play pass or something like this, you could get a big, big play if you fake the run and throw the ball, because they are playing run on those last 2 downs about as hard as you can play run.
Well, when they beat Washington in overtime, the Cowboys I'm talking about, that's what they did. They went play pass. And they had a touch that won it. This one bounces back and bounces out of bounds at about the 38, where the Eagles will take over with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. Tonight, it's the pivotal Game 4 of the AL Division Series. The Red Sox try to keep their postseason hopes alive, force a decisive game against the Indians. Coverage begins tonight live at 7:30 Eastern Time. Those are the starting pitchers: Bartolo Colon and Kent Mercker.
Chan Gailey has to get his head on straight there after that 28-yard punt.
Here's Staley.
That didn't look like a very crisp play, did it? It looked like it was kind of a warm-up play or something.
Like we've made it look better now. Let's sit on this.
I think that this offense got going a little, and the guy that got him going was this guy right here, Deuce Staley.
Here's Deuce again. He's still on his feet and still fighting, and here comes the flag flying in.
That guy is a football player.
Yep.
Like I said, if you had there was not a lot you'd take off this offensive team, but Deuce Staley is one of them.
This looks like it's against Philadelphia. That's a killer.
They've had killers all day. I mean, they had a touchdown a little while ago that was called back. I mean, they've had penalties, drop passes. I mean, about everything bad that can happen has.
81 offense, 10-yard penalty. Still
How many touchdowns did you say this Philadelphia offensive unit has scored?
They've scored no touchdowns since the first week. Yeah. And then that one, this is called on number 81 there, Charles Johnson. You see, he's going against Charlie Williams there, and he did hold.
Yeah.
And probably if that were away from the ball, if the ball carrier didn't run right by him, they probably wouldn't have called that.
Peterson in the middle, Small. And Torrance Small fights and gets the first down. They overcome the penalty. But the clock is running with 2:20 left to play.
Yeah, well, they have plenty of time because, like I said, they have 2 timeouts. Plus, they're going to get one at the 2-minute warning. I think they would like to get one play in here before the 2-minute warning, though.
They better hurry. They'll get it done. Hand off to Staley. Staley is still on his feet, and still Staley gallops all the way down to the 31, and we'll get that 2-minute warning, but the clock will stop. Philadelphia driving. The Eagles at the Dallas 31-yard line. They have 2 timeouts left. The Cowboys got ahead 10-0, and then As John's been saying all day, they put it on cruise control.
Yep, and they let this team hang in there, and now they got a dogfight for 1:54 seconds. But the Eagle defense also played outstanding today.
And the Cowboys have missed a lot of tackles. Here's Peterson back to throw it. Just does get rid of it. Incomplete in the end zone. In the direction of Gels, who is the fastest, they say, of the Eagle receivers. He hasn't really been unveiled yet.
Well, Torrance Small and Charles Johnson, their two starters, aren't speed guys.
Nope.
Dedrick Gels is their speed guy, so if they were thinking of a deep one, that was the play that they were going to go. They were going to sneak in the game and try and get them on an up, but the Cowboys had good coverage.
Massive shift by the Eagles. Staley winds up deep, and they give the ball to Deuce Staley. And Deuce is taken down after he picks up about 3. Kavika Pittman.
And now I think the Eagles have to think here of going for it on 4th down. So it's 3rd down now. So they have 2 downs to get a 1st down. That's the first thing they have to do. They have to get a 1st down. So you can do it in 2 plays because you've already decided now, if you're Andy Reid, that if you don't get it on 3rd, you're going to go for it on 4th.
They need 6 for a 1st on 3rd. Peterson drops. Throws up the middle, has a man open. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Charles Johnson got into the end zone. The Cowboys were unbeaten when they came, and they sat on it a little too long. Peterson to Johnson. Chan Gailey can't believe it.
If they let him hang in there, and the Eagles did hang in there. And Doug Peterson hung in there. And they had everything bad that could happen.
Their first touchdown in the last 18 quarters. A strike from Peterson. Dave Campo.
Yeah, well, he called the defense, and he, from up there, he's up in the booth, and he could see Charles Johnson open all the way. And when Johnson caught that pass, you knew it was going to be a touchdown.
Steve Everett. .12-10 the score. Andy Reid wants a timeout.
I think what Andy Reid is thinking is, should he go for 2?
Maybe.
I don't think so. I think because you get the 1, that gives you 13, and they have to then tie you with a field goal. If you go for it and don't make it, they can beat you with a field goal.
Those of you who watched St. Louis beat San Francisco 42-20, welcome to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Eagles have just gone ahead of the Cowboys 12-10, and they're lining up for the extra point. To make it 13, he thought, I think, about going for 2 to make it 14-10.
He made the right decision.
He made the right decision. I agree. It's 13-10. Those of you who watched Atlanta beat New Orleans 20-17, the Eagles just scored to go ahead of Dallas.
And here's the play right here. You can see Small goes deep. Charles Johnson lets him clear, then he comes under, and he was wide open in the middle. The minute he catches this ball, you knew it was a touchdown because you could see that there was no one between Charles Johnson and the goal line. And all he had to do was just dive into the end zone.
And he had great protection by his offensive line. And now the Eagles. The defense has done the work all afternoon for Philadelphia.
They have played outstanding today. They kept this team in the game the whole way. And then in the second half, offensively, Deuce Staley got him started.
Deion Sanders in for Dallas to return kickoffs.
Well, they're starting to feel it now. They didn't feel any urgency.
Nope.
The Cowboys until right now, or that maybe when Charles Johnson got that thing. They were playing this game, like we said earlier, on cruise control, and now they are playing it with an overload of urgency.
Well, Chan Gailey was a little worried about that last night. Akers' kick goes down to Sanders, who's going to bring it right from the goal line. And Deion Sanders spins away from one, flag on the play as he got just outside the 20.
Well, now you have to think here that the Cowboys have all their timeouts. So with all your timeouts and a minute one, that's still plenty of time.
Jerry Jones had been to the hospital when they took Michael Irvin earlier in the game, holding against Dallas. They'll bring it back. And Jerry's returned to the sideline. Michael Irvin, by the way.
Holding.
They're holding here in Philadelphia at the hospital overnight for observation, but he does have feeling in his extremities, and he is alert.
And now that penalty really put the Cowboys in bad position. They're inside the 15-yard line. Got 1 minute left, and they have one guy that can make a big play for him, and that's Rocket Ismail. And I would think that somewhere they're going to have to take a shot to him. I would think first thing you try and get the ball. Your first goal is to get a couple of first downs and get the ball out to midfield. Then you take your shot. You don't have to take your shots here.
They'll be coming after Aikman. He drops and throws. And incomplete. And a flag. The Rocket was the intended target.
See, and the tough thing about that flag for the Eagles is it stops the clock, because had that been completed, it would have been better,
Pass
because
interference, defense.
the clock would keep going.
Yep.
So that gives them stop the clock and gives them an automatic first down.
A long way to go for Troy Aikman to lead his team back from behind again. Out of the shotgun. Pressure. Aikman's pass is incomplete. The direction of Tucker.
Yeah, you can see this is Jason Tucker out here, and looks like he looks back like he's not sure what to do. Then he falls down.
Yep.
The field has been a little slippery today because it was really raining before, and Jason Tucker, he got his feet out in front of him, and he fell down, and Troy Aikman was right in the motion of throwing the ball.
51 seconds, still 3 timeouts left for Dallas.
Dallas has to be thinking now of first down.
Incomplete. Tucker slightly behind him, and now they really have to start thinking about first down.
Who would have thought in a game like this that the Cowboys would be behind and they would be trying to get back in, and they'd be throwing passes to Jason Tucker?
Who would have thought, indeed. 3rd and 10. Well, we said in the beginning these two have always had a battle. Aikman chased, gets rid of it. Intercepted. Bobby Taylor with the interception. And the Eagles. And Jeffrey Lurie.
And Andy Reid gets his first win as a head coach.
Chan Gailey's in shock. Troy Aikman is in shock. Andy Reid will have a pleasant evening.
Andy Reid said, I told you, just hang in there, just hang in there, just stick together. And that's one thing that has been impressive about this Eagle team. The defense has played great. The offense has played terrible. But the defense and the offense never got into one of those things.
And the Cowboys just never got it going. They started losing players and losing momentum.
And that defense made them lose that, too. I mean, the defense, this Eagle defense started after Troy Aikman and the Cowboys from the get-go and stayed after him the whole game.
And they stuck with Doug Peterson. We and almost everybody in the Veterans Stadium thought it was time to put in McNabb.
Timeout.
But he stayed with him.
And we know eventually that day is going to come. And Donovan McNabb was the second player taken in the draft, and he was taken to be the future of this Philadelphia Eagle team. And then, it's just when is the future.
Thank you.
Today's game is being produced by Bob Stinner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The associate director is Mike Roy. The broadcast associates are Charles McDonald and Mark Mata. Technical producer Bob Muller. The pregame show was produced by Scott Ackerson, directed by Bob Levy. Senior producers Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. And Doug Peterson quieted a few critics today, and he had a lot.
Well, and he didn't do anything in the first half. And then Doug Peterson made that big pass. I'll say that to Charles Johnson. But to me, the guy that got that offense jump-started was Deuce Staley. I mean, he came out and he ran like a man possessed in the second half.
This is the first divisional game that Chan Gailey has lost since he's been the head coach of the Cowboys. It had to end somewhere, but who would have thought?
I think that he and Troy Aikman are both going to think that they got a little too conservative and pulled it in a little too soon in this game. Well, the Cowboys, did have 3 timeouts because they didn't use them on offense, so they're going to use them here. But that was their last timeout. I think they will get the. Well, no, they're not. They didn't. I guess they didn't get a timeout that last time.
The clock's still running. Now it's stopped at 15 seconds.
Yeah, because had they taken a timeout, then they would have gotten one more play.
Dallas. That's their third and final timeout.
That's all the timeouts.
30-second timeout.
See, because what happens is you get an automatic timeout at change of possession.
I think Chan Gailey thought he ought to have more time on the clock.
Either that or he thought that he took the timeout sooner or didn't know that he had timeout. He should have taken it sooner. Because the Eagles are 4th down and like 12 or 13. Now, if they kneel down or just run the thing out, when it gets to 4th down, the clock stops, and that's automatic timeout at change of possession. So the Cowboys will get the ball again. But I don't know why the Cowboys took so long in taking that timeout, or maybe that's what Chan Gailey is saying. We took the timeout, and you guys didn't give it to us.
Yep. He wants some time put back on the clock.
He's saying that they gave that signal that means you stop the clock. Because he lost about 15 seconds here. Because the Eagles, the clock will start when the ball snaps, and it will stop when the whistle blows. Right now. So now it's an automatic timeout with 11 seconds, change of possession, the Cowboys will get the ball.
And they have no timeouts left now. And 11 seconds. And Aikman comes back. Couple of Hail Marys, or what do you do?
Well, I think with 11 seconds, you only have one. And the only thing you have, and I hate to say this is an advantage because you don't like to think this way. The only thing you have to remember here is they can just throw the ball up, but the game cannot end on a defensive penalty. So what you hope for is to get a pass interference, and then you get some more time.
Still running, and the game is over. (13-10). The Philadelphia Eagles upset Dallas, and there's one more undefeated team that's no longer undefeated. The Cowboys.